And here we are again in Rosemary's kitchen. Today we are making Arroz con Polo, which is rice. It sounds so much better in Spanish, doesn't it? It's rice with chicken, and it's one of my favorite dishes, which is of course in the recipe book. You know, everybody makes Spanish rice differently. Some people put in red peppers, green peppers, some people put in mushrooms, some people put all sorts of things go in. But this is my simple Spanish rice, and you know, I really love this. You can make the rice with the chicken or without the chicken. So you can have Spanish rice and put anything with it, or just on its own, which is delicious. Or you can do it this way. Come along, come with me over to the oven. All right, so here we have, and I've started prepping because it takes far too long, as you all know. We've got a whole packet of bacon in here. Somebody was supposed to cut this. It's like, you know, you ask your assistant to do a job. Here is what we do. A whole packet of chicken. There's about 10 rashers, slices to you Americans, rashers of bacon in there. That's a 16-ounce packet of bacon, which I've cooked in this really filthy pan. I need you to look at this really filthy pan. It's a deliciously filthy pan, just so you know. I've cooked it in there, drained it really well, and cut it up into pieces, crisped it up really nicely. Then we have, in the same pan, cooked in the bacon fat, we've got some sliced onions and garlic. You can see little bits of garlic in there. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump it. No finesse in my kitchen. You can see there's just no finesse there. So I'm dumping that out of the way. 1 second while I get a piece of paper towel here. Okay, so we're going to just stick this right in there like this. Mix it in with the bacon. Now let's put this pan on and get going here. So I want it on a fairly hot heat. I'm going to, there's the bacon fat, the onions and the bacon and the garlic have been cooked in there. I'm going to heat it up a little bit. Here we have some chicken portions. Now, in the recipe it advises you to use chicken breasts, but what you really need, if you can't get chicken breasts, what I did was I got a chicken and I just cut it into pieces. So we've got 2 legs, 2 breasts and 2 wings right in there. And you get some flour in a bag and season it with salt and pepper, and then dip your chicken into the bag, coat the chicken, give it a really good shake and lay it on a plate here until you're ready for it. And we are ready for it. All right, so we're going to, I think that's nice and getting nice and hot. So we're going to lay in the chicken, skin side down. It's important that you have the skin on this dish, I think. If you don't like skin, don't make this dish because it's so good with skin on. But we're going to put it skin side down. As you can see, my butchering isn't brilliant, but it was very easy. If you use a nice sharp knife, it's not quite hot enough yet, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. We're going to put the chicken skin side down, and we're going to nicely brown the chicken until we've got a really nice colour on it. Here it goes. All right, so we're going to put the chicken right in there, and we're going to lay it skin side down. Remember, it's a bit of skin that went haywire. Please, I do not claim to have butchering skills, so don't think what a lousy job she did at that, because probably did. Probably we've got, if a butcher watches this, let's hope a butcher doesn't watch it, because if a butcher's watching this, I'm in big trouble. And just lay it in there. You can hear the pan sizzling already. Let's take that out there. And while that is cooking, okay, we're going to add, we've got tomatoes in here. We've got the bacon. Can you see that, Carolyn? Is that in the way?
No.
You can hear that sizzling away there. All right, so little jar of ready sliced pimentos. Pimentos are just a nice soft cooked pepper, and as you can see they've been sort of sliced like that. I do not use raw peppers in this dish, or I don't even cut them and cook them myself. I like pimentos because I don't know how they do them, but they're really just a different flavour. We're going to just drop those right in there. You can see this is a let's just drop it in thing that we're going to be doing right there. Now, move that over there. Now I've got a can of, and I think it's sort of 12 or 14 ounce can of ready diced tomatoes. We're going to throw those in as well. Make sure we get it all out, and in they go. Alright, and so we're going to, you can see it's mixing up, looking really, I love the look of this. This is the base for our Spanish rice. All mixed in really, really nicely. I'm not doing the job properly. Can you hear it sizzling? Now we need this just to lift it. Yes, you can see I'm having to scrape it, which is just what we want. It's not burning, don't worry, it's not burning, but it's hopefully it's browning nicely. Let's take a look and see. Okay, you can see the skin is slightly brown. We're not cooking the chicken, we are just browning the chicken. Going to turn it up even a little higher. Let's have a look at this. Oh, nicely done. That's exactly, look at that. Wow, and look at that. Ooh. Oh yes. So we want the skin to nicely brown. Remember, we are not cooking the chicken, we are browning the chicken. We're trying to get a nice brown coating on the chicken. Can you see all that black in there? Okay. Lovely. Oh, look at this. It's a big pan and only a small plate. I hate it when they do that. Don't you hate it when they do that? Don't worry at all. I think that one's cooked enough. Nice and brown on there. I'm going to put it on that plate and just sort of putting it to drain a little bit. Lovely, lovely. Alright. Trying to find the spot. Of course the pan is quite big. Remember, again, I'll say it again, we are not cooking the chicken, we're just browning it. We'll just give that a little bit more. Perfect. Looking good. I think that needs to be just a little bit more. What do you think? In we go. Get that skin. Oh, yummy. I'm going to give it just a little bit longer. I'd like it to be almost black. Try and make sure you're not burning it. I know it looks like it's burned, but it actually isn't burned. It's just a beautiful, beautiful colour on there. Okay. Ooh. It's just the oven. Poor Carolyn's wondering here what's happening. I'm going to leave these a couple more minutes just to brown them off there. And okay, so now we have 8 ounces of chicken, 16 ounces of chicken stock, 8 ounces of rice. Don't worry, can't keep up You can get the recipe. We'll send it to you. If you email us, rosemary@rosemaryaLtea.com. We've got some turmeric, or turmeric, however you want to say it, paprika, salt, and they're all going to go in as well. Okay, let's have a look at these. How are we doing? That's good. I like it a little bit brown out, but you know, we're doing TV here, so all right, that's good. Okay, now look at this filthy, dirty pan. I know you're saying to me you need to wash that pan before you use it again, but why would I wash it? Because all the goodness is right in there. So I'm going to just pour the stock right in. Yummy, yummy. That beeping is because I've got the, see, it's going crazy here. Let me just, ouch. I've had it on the pan and it's I've had it on the pan and it's hot, and there we go, and let's see, there we go. All right, so into that dirty water, dirty water, I'm heating it up, I'm going to boil it up a little bit. Into that water we've got, I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of turmeric, a good teaspoon. This is going to turn that rice yellow. I love yellow rice. Oops. And I'm going to put a little bit of this in. A half a teaspoon, good teaspoon, there we go, in there. Of, it's actually smoked paprika, and roughly, I have no idea what that is, and roughly a half a teaspoon of salt. Throw that in. Now, as we're waiting for that to boil up, I'm just going to put on my oven gloves. You don't need to film me doing this. You can just watch that rice bubbling up there.
Smells delicious.
Yeah, really. So we're going to leave that bubbling away. I am actually going to take a wooden spoon and just wiggle it around just a little bit, just to get all that lovely stuff off the bottom. And you can see it's the water's now coming to a nice simmer in there. Once it's come to a nice simmer, I'm going to throw the rice in. There you go. Now, I will whiz the rice around gently, but as it's cooking, I'm not going to stir the rice because, as I'm sure you all know, if you stir white rice, this is actually jasmine rice, if you stir this kind of a rice as it's cooking, it's going to be really nasty and sticky. It's going to not be nice at all. So we're now just going to leave it until the water, the stock rather, the rice absorbs the stock and it sort of starts to thicken up a little bit. And we're going to leave that for about 5 minutes. So as we're waiting for that to do, let's go through this again. In this dish, we have 1 onion, a medium to large onion, which I sliced about 1/4 inch thick. I like them sliced because when you start to scoop up that rice and all of that, you know, you get all that good stuff. I like to see, rather than have chopped rice, I like to see the onions in there. And when you slice the onions rather than dice the onions, you get that lovely sort of nice thick texture. We've got a 14-ounce can of chopped tomatoes. We've got a small, I don't know how much this is, it might be about 4 ounces. It'll be in the recipe anyway, we'll make sure we let you know that. These are sliced and not diced. Sliced, not diced. Of pimentos. we've got the turmeric, and we've got the turmeric, and we've got the smoked paprika, and the salt. Also in here we've got some packets, a 16-ounce packet, about 10 rashers or 10 slices of bacon, absolutely, you know, just crisped up. Throw the onions in, take them out, drain them, throw the onions in, softly, cook them softly, add in the garlic. I forgot that we've got garlic in there. We've got about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic in there. And then you coat the chicken with the flour. And okay, there you got it. Now let's just have a look at this rice. I'm not going to stir it, but I'm just going to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom with all that gunge. Look how filthy that is. It's not really filthy, you know, it's just all the good juices and the stuff. And this is my idea of Spanish rice. Everybody has their own recipe. So we're going to leave that. Well, actually what we're going to do now is I'm going to pour it. Now I'm going to try to pour it without scolding myself, so this should be fun, right? So I'm going to, it's a big pan. I like to use a big pan, especially when we're doing this for TV, because when you use a big pan, you can actually, you know, see what's in there. So I'm going to, I think that'll be enough, because we're going to put all of this in there. I just want to show you actually what we do next. So I'm just going to switch it off now, and let's just make sure we've got all of that going in there. Ooh, lovely. Now, those of you who know me and have watched me before, you know I cannot leave. That's, ignore the beeping. I cannot leave all the good stuff in the bottom, so I'm going to, you've got to have man muscles really to do this. In it all goes, I think that'll do. In it all goes, bingo. Alright, and then we're going to mix it all in together really well. There we go. And of course, we're going to leave it in the oven for about an hour to an hour and a half until the rice is absorbed all of that good stuff, and there we go, and is cooked through. So about, depending on your oven, 375 for and I'm going to say an hour and a half. I like to leave mine a bit longer. Now then, this is what we're going to do with this. Now we're going to take these chicken pieces. That's how I really like to have them looking. If these aren't quite right, that's all right, because you can always cook it up in the oven later. Also, that's 2 legs. You're wondering, aren't you, thinking, oh, is she going to get that in that pot? Is it going to go in there? I think it just might. It just might. And you bury the chicken into that rice. Not sure we've got room for this. So we're going to leave these in there. I think I'm probably going to put this in a bigger pot, but this is just to show you. All right, so what do I do with my piece of paper towel? So now we cover it with foil, nice and tight, really nice and really, really tight. And then I'm going to wash my hands quickly, and then we cook it, as I've said, for about an hour and a half. Then take the foil off, and then leave it to crisp up for another 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes. Believe it or not, I love it when I can say this, because I sound really professional when I say this. Now I have one that I made earlier because I've been cooking for the last several hours. The prep time, just let me say the prep time for this takes about 45 to 50 minutes. It took me an hour to do 2 of these dishes. So, so prep time might seem a little bit long, but when you've prepped it or you've done it, you shove it in the oven. And you can make it in the morning if you're having a dinner party and just leave it. And then when it's time, an hour and a half or 2 hours before your guests come in, throw it in the oven. Bingo, you've got a delicious, 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 delicious dinner. So we're going to take this out of the oven, and do you want to hop over to the other side while I do this? By the way, Caccioro, he's going around doing cleanup. I've actually it looks a bit grungy, this cloth, I've been using it. I'll just put that on there so I can put the hot pan on the top of it. Now, it may or may not need another 5 or 10 minutes in the oven, we'll see, but you'll get the gist, you'll get the idea of it. I have to tell you, this is, if you can spare that 1 hour for prep and you do all of that, you can do it in the morning, do it before you go to work or something if you want to, or you can do it and then you can get on the rest of the day making delicious desserts if you want to. And then, as I've said, 2 hours before everyone comes for dinner, you pop it in the oven and you leave it, and it's so delicious. So we'll take it out. It may or may not be done. We shall see. And golly, that's a hot oven. Oh, it looks good to me. There you have it. And looks good, right? Looks really good.
That's beautiful.
And you can serve it in this, you can put it on the table and serve it in this dish, or if you want to take the chicken out, transfer the rice to a nice platter and then lay the chicken on the top, you can do that too. And we're going to add, I just want to take some of this rice out because I want to show you the texture of it. It should be moist but not liquidy, which is just about, I don't know if you can see that. That's perfect actually. Can you see that?
Yes.
So it should be nice and moist, but not, you can see I used a bigger pan for this one, can't you? I'm trying to get some more rice up. It's not sloppy, it's just nicely moist with all of that in there. We're going to leave that to cool just for a minute, and then I might even be nice to Carolyn and tell her she can have a leg and some, a bit of a leg and some rice. Would you like that for your lunch?
Yes, love it.
All right, and so that's it. Arroz con Polo, chicken with rice. Remember, when you put it all in the pot, when you've got it all in there, you need to put foil over it and seal the foil, or if you've got a casserole dish with a lid, that's also fine, but it needs to be sealed in so that it steams. What it's doing is it's steaming in there. The chicken is cooked beautifully. Let's just have a look and see if that chicken is cooked. Do you think I'm tempting fate now?
No. I have no doubt that the chicken is cooked.
So let's see. And we cut it open. There you are. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. Beautiful. Everything is cooked to perfection. Carolyn's going to have that for a lunch. I might eat this. Do you think I can? Oh, this is so good. This is one of my favourites and an easy dinner dish. Sorry, it's very yummy, yummy. Sorry. Arroz con Polo. And there it is. Chicken with rice, with my Spanish rice. Find the recipe in the book. You can email us, rosemary@rosemaryaltea.com, if you want any more information. If you want details of that, by all means, just email us. My daddy's been here with me today. Those of you who watch Rosemary's Kitchen know he's always around, and of course Grey Eagle is always around. Apparently they can't wait to get tucked into this, so this is really great. So until I see you again, until we're cooking excuse me, until we cook again in Rosemary's kitchen, please, please, please enjoy. Have a very, very, very blessed day.